Oh my God. How is that for a rookie mistake? I can't believe I just did this. I just did a full 1 hour stream. I've been talking at the camera for 1 hour. I got one right when I asked, "Hey, do people hear me? And are people there?" I got I got Jeff responded to me saying, "Hey," and waved. And that made me think, okay, well, I'm live. Okay, let me. And I forgot one important. Ah, something else has just become clear. So I was wondering, why are people not responding? I keep asking questions about why are people not responding, and because nobody was hearing me, because I kept going about to go live, and nobody heard me. Oh my God, what a rookie mistake. Yeah. So about that, I okay. So here's what happened. Let's do the postmortem of what happened. Here's the postmortem. I just did an hour long stream, and it was amazing. But no one was here because everybody was just seeing it's coming soon. It's any moment we're gonna go live, and yeah. Oh, that's a little embarrassing. Yeah. So I lost all my viewers. I had 5 people waiting for me. Why did that door? I'm gonna come back. I think a door opened. Okay. Oh. So now I'm live. I'm just going to keep going. Now that I'm finally figured out how to get things going, I'm just going. Oh my god. I'm such I'm an idiot. I think I'm an idiot. Let's close that out. I don't really want that. How do I get rid of this? Welcome to live chat. So yeah, oh my god. That is so funny awful. Funny awful. Oh, funny. Okay, it is getting hot in here. Getting hot. Is there a song like that? What is the who makes my Lavoit? Lavoit? No. VE? VE Sync. Okay. And of course now that I've wasted an hour, no one's here. Okay, so wow. Wow. What's that thing called? It's no, not in there. Hmm. Thought it was in there, but it's not. Mix effect. That's it. There we go. Okay. That's not it. thought I had Mix Effect Pro. I do. Okay. Okay. Hello. Sure. Were you here earlier? Okay. I thought I heard a door open. Okay, no problem. See you. Bye. Oh, hey, 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 whoa. Hey, hey, I got a viewer. So if you are viewing this right now, you may have heard about my faux pas. Did you hear about my Oh, I lost you. Can I tell you something? So I was going to do a stream. I told a few people I'm doing a stream at 1 o'clock. I get on the stream. I'm there. Okay, let me stop the stream then. Oh, are you streaming? I am. Oh, streaming. Okay. I don't think anyone's going to show up, but maybe I should just. Hmm. Okay, testing. Oh, hey, there's a viewer. Okay. Hey there. I was just trying to do something stupid. Are you still there? My one viewer? After my major screw up? Can I tell you about my major screw up? It's very exciting. Who is this? Who am I talking to? Well, you don't have to say because did you hear my I can't believe I did this. So I streamed for an hour. I streamed for a full hour from 1 to 2 o'clock Pacific time. I was here. I was talking to the screen. I got verification from somebody on the chat that I was actually here, and it was amazing. It wasn't amazing. I was kind of stumbling through it. And then after the full hour, I was thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna end the stream. Where's the end stream button? Looking around for it, and I finally find where the end stream button is supposed to be, but it says go live instead of end stream, and I thought I was live for an hour, and it turned out I was not. It turned out I was just talking to myself for an hour, and that's it. That's what happened. That's what my live stream, my first live stream in a while, was. It was me talking to a blank wall, which it was maybe a little bit sad. So I'm glad you're here, whoever you are. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna go over to. Since there is now somebody actually watching, I'm going to do what I was originally intending to do an hour and 20 minutes ago. Or what I actually did an hour and 20 minutes ago. I did it for a while. Let's see. Let me go over to... Oh, man. That is frustrating. Oh, my God. How did I do such a silly thing? Okay. Get over it, Matt. So right now we're looking at my desktop. This is actually my MacBook Pro, which is my work machine. The way I've got this set up here in this room, I've got a Mac Mini that is below the desk or on the desk, and then so I can show that right now. That's looking at my YouTube stats, which was showing some stats before, but they were bogus. And then this is my desktop, my what's it called? My MacBook Pro. And what I was doing in the first version of this stream was kind of going over some of the examples. So, actually, I started off with let's run Ollama, run Orca. I like Orca. It's the smallest model, but it's also super fast, and it works really well for a lot of things. But then it like fails you sometimes. So what is my favorite question always to ask is why is the sky blue? I think, and one thing I like on the Mac is actually pressing the dictation key. Why is the sky blue? And seeing that go, which is awesome. Is the sky ever green? Not evergreen, but is the sky ever green? Okay, so I got that. Okay, good. No, it's hey Alberta, thank you so much. I mean, you heard my story. But there's now 2 viewers, so that's exciting. My story, I mean, it's I'm gonna get over that story, but it was very sad that I spoke to myself for an hour without ever pressing the go live button. Rookie mistake. Anyway, so I'm just playing around with And one thing I need to do is get to the point where I'm showing my face on the screen. It's not just me looking at not you just looking at my desktop. Hey, stay as long as you want or leave, no problem. I'm totally okay. I think I'm recovered. So let's see. Is the sky ever green? So this is amazing, and I love asking the question using the dictation. What was a cool question I came up with before? Sometimes it gets, if I've got a technical question, it doesn't do very well on that. So what was it? I asked about Nginx. Create a Terraform script that installs Nginx on AWS EC2. Yeah, that is not what I meant. So I'm going to get rid of that. Cool idea, but maybe I need to train it. On AWS EC2? No, EC2. And is this no, that's definitely not going to work. Before it did a really good job. I've got another one up here that somewhere around here. Did a much better job of that Terraform script. So sometimes Orca, because it's such a small model, it's not the best for a lot of these things. If you're in a model or if you're in a chat REPL, you can always just type in exit or Control C to get out of that. And now I'm going to try Ollama run Llama 2, not 22, 2. And that shows me, now I can try that same script or try the same question. Okay, and then we get to the point where get to the answer of I'm just an AI. I can't create scripts, which is weird because it created a whole bunch of scripts earlier. So if I try Ollama 2 uncensored, I think is the one. And now we try that again. The first time we run or ask any question, it takes a few extra seconds to start up, to load everything into memory. And so this looks like a much better answer. It's probably not perfect. And you need really, anytime you work with any of these tools, you really need to verify before you trust it. I did a talk last Tuesday. I did a talk at that conference. There's a conference in the Wisconsin Dells in the U.S. And it's called That Conference, THAT, That Conference. And it's my favorite conference. It's so cool because it's got like a track for kids. They hold it at a hotel with a water park in it. I mean, it's really meant for the whole family. I did not actually go to the water park. I was sleeping each evening, but you could do that. And I did the talk, and part of it was, what are some of the problems with ChatGPT and OpenAI services or other online services? And one of the problems is around using the data that you create, whether it's you ask a question and you get an answer back, and as long as you don't say, no, this is bad, it's going to assume, okay, that's good information. Let me use that to go back into the model to make the model better. And then that's way the model keeps getting better and better with each question that gets asked. And they probably try to anonymize. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But by default, your data is going to go back into the system. Now, there is a way to get out of that. There is a opt-out policy. And that opt-out policy came because Italians were noticing that they could log in and they might see their previous chats, but they might also see somebody else's previous chats. And the country of Italy said, if you don't change this, we're banning you from this country. And so they made an opt-out option, a form that you could fill in. It's kind of hard to find, but you can opt out of that data sharing. And then another problem that I mentioned was people getting information, getting results back from ChatGPT and trusting without verifying. Like when the lawyer got back 6 cases that proved his point that his client, whose foot was trampled by a beverage cart on a Avianca flight, had the rights to sue for Avianca for damages. And turns out all the examples that ChatGPT came up with that the lawyer then handed off to the judge and to the other side were all fake. They didn't exist. And then another example was Samsung. A couple engineers asking ChatGPT for a summary of a meeting. Here's a transcript, and they were sharing basically information, sharing information with. They basically shared information back into the model. So those were some examples of why something I talked about at that conference. Let's go back over here. I really love, now that the model is loaded, it's in memory. It should be really fast to respond to the next thing. So again, what's my favorite question? Why is the sky blue? And it should answer quicker than it did before. Sky blue? That is not. What is? My question is, what is sky blue? Yeah, okay. That would make sense. Why? Why is the sky blue? Oh, greetings from Germany. Whereabouts in Germany are you? I was chatting with somebody at the conference I was at. I mentioned last week. I was chatting with somebody, and he said, I live in Germany." I said, "Oh, really? Well, I haven't spent a whole lot of time in Germany, but I used to go every now and then." And I mentioned that the place I used to go, I lived in Amsterdam for a while, and I used to go to Aachen a lot because when I first moved to Amsterdam, Aachen was where the Walmart was. And if you're an American that's moved to Europe and is used to American toilet paper, and what you're getting from Albert Heijn is not quite soft enough, then you go to Walmart and buy your Charm. I don't even know what I bought. He said, "I know it. That is where I live." And so he remembers when Walmart closed down. That's probably about 20 years ago now. So we had a moment. So I'm just playing around with Ollama right now. What have I done right now? I'm in I used Ollama 2 uncensored. And right now I'm using version 13 or 0.0.13, which I believe came out the first time I was on the stream when I didn't actually press the start go live button. I promise I'm over it. But one of the new things in here, we've got a few new slash commands. So if you could always do /help, and you can do like set verbose, which is really neat. Let's go ahead and do that now. Set verbose. And now, okay. And if I set verbose and now I run that question again, I'm going to get not only my answer, but a summary of what happened. And we can see that the total duration for asking a question or for submitting the question and getting an answer back was 3.7 seconds, which is actually a lot faster than it was, a day ago when we were on 0.0.12. And the load duration is 956 microseconds. What's that? Is that mu? I think that's microseconds. So it shows me prompt eval is 17 tokens. So that's 17 tokens? That can't be 17 tokens. Prompt eval rate. That doesn't sound. Oh, it could be because the prompt is probably also. Oh, prompt eval. So is that I think that might also be the, what is the system prompt? So if I do show system, show template. Okay, so there is no system prompt in this model. There is a template, which is just saying you're going to get some text that is 3 hashes and human, and put the prompt in there. And when you see response, spit it out to the user. And so all that combined with the question, why is the sky blue, must add up to about 17 tokens. Okay, that makes sense. And then the result, this is 110 tokens. And generally the way tokens work is that it looks for every word, every short common word is going to be a token. But then also longer words that are maybe less common get split up as needed. So scattering might be scatter as one word, or probably scatter, and then ing as a second token. And sunlight might actually be sun and light, whereas enters is probably enter and s. Shorter would be short and but water would be just water, and vapor would be just vapor. Molecules, probably molecule and s. That's probably pretty common. But anyway, that's generally how things work. And there's actually there's a token calculator that I saw somebody talk about the other day. Token calculator, is it? GPT-4. GPT calculator. Is this it? Yeah. So let's grab this answer and paste it in here. Submit, and it'll be about okay, so 94 tokens. So it's pretty close to what so what was really nice on another one I saw was it actually showed you how it breaks up. OpenAI token tech? No. It was a nice visualization where it highlighted in different colors each of the tokens within a word. So it was a nice way of visualizing. Might be tokenizer. Could that be it? Yeah, this could be. Look at that. So this is 94 tokens, and you get to see what is a token. So, scattering in this case is one word, but Ray Lee is it's 2 tokens. Ray Lee has 2 tokens, and there's not really that many that are broken up into. Yeah, most of them are words. Oh, that's text and token ID. Okay, so also will show you the token IDs within the model. That's pretty neat. And show example. So here's another example of one that gets a word that gets broken up into many tokens. Un, ik, and then ode. Unicode, or emojis is another great one. Oj, and ease as a separate token. So that's a really neat. I knew I saw that somewhere. So how did I get there? This is platformopenai.com/tokenizer. A cool visualization. In fact, that might be a neat little. I wonder if that's interesting for our users to create some sort of tokenizer that helps you visualize why is. I don't know. Maybe it's interesting. Maybe we can do that later on. Good morning. Oh, are you the same Drifter Thrifter who is on with Ryan and me? Or is Drifter Thrifter just a generic name? You can't be are you the same person? Are you? It's very exciting to see names that I recognize. So I do another stream every Tuesday-ish, Tuesday, at around 2:00 Pacific, and I do it with a friend of mine who I used to work with. I used to work at a company called Of course. Oh my goodness. I used to work at a company called Datadog. So actually, I'm wearing a Datadog Dash T-shirt. Dash is their conference that they have, and it's actually going on right now in San Francisco. Probably right now as we speak, in San Francisco. And so I worked at Datadog from when we were like 30, 35 people when I started to about 5,000 people when I left, and we went public, and it was incredible. But on that stream that I do with Ryan every week, we talk about surveys in DevOps and all sorts of other topics. And Drifter Thrifter often joins us for he's often there. So it's very exciting to see you. Thank you so much. You missed my my little mistake I made where I started a stream at 1:00 promptly Pacific time. I was on it. I checked with somebody. I said, "Hey, can anybody hear me?" And essentially one of my bosses said, "Hey there," and waved. So I assumed that he was on and he was listening to me. It turned out I forgot to press go live, and he just happened to write that message just as I happened to ask a question. And so I thought people were listening, and I spoke for a full hour to a camera where no one was here. Well, hey, I wake up at 5 a.m., so there's no excuse not to wake up at 6 a.m. Yeah. Anyway, no, maybe I should make it a little bit later. What's a good time? Well, hey, Drifter Thrifter, what's a good time for you? So what I'm talking about on this session is about Ollama. Ollama is our new tool that we've been working on this for about 6 weeks now, and it is. I mean, it's going like gangbusters. It's really incredible. If we take a look at the repo, it's jmorganca/Ollama, and we're already at 4.1 thousand stars. How does that look on the star visualizer? Is it visualizer? GitHub. No, that is not it. Star count graph. GitHub star history. jmorganca/Ollama. Yeah. And we can see that this is July 19th, and by July 20th we were at 480. So from 210, okay, wasn't and really it was, I seem to remember it was even steeper. It was like 12 to like 400. It was probably 12 to like 200 all of a sudden, and then 400, and then that same day, yeah, July 20th to 21st went from 400 to 1300, and I mean we're now at about 4,000 something stars, which has been absolutely incredible. Oh God, two very demanding alarm clocks. Yeah, I totally remember. Our daughter is now 4 years old, and I think we adopted our daughter when she was 2 weeks old. Having a newborn at home when you are a normal age, 20 years old, that totally makes sense. You can suffer through the pain of having to wake up. 30 years old, that's also pretty easy. 40 years old, that's probably pretty easy. I was 49 when we brought home our 2-week-old daughter, and so it has 49, 48. Can't add. Okay, so let's go back to here. I was going to start looking into some of the examples. So this is the repo for Ollama, and Ollama, again, is the easiest way to run these AI models on your laptop. And these are the models that we are supporting today, although we're adding more all the time, and I'm sure, let's open up Discord, not to that one. Those are my Midjourney images that I'm creating for the stream and for all the videos I've been putting out recently. But in Ollama, we'll probably see that 0.0.13 came out. But in here, if you look around, you'll probably find other models that are available. So we're importing a lot of models right now, going through a lot of them and adding them to our registry so that you're able to, there's a 70B, Llama 2 70B is up there, although I don't know if we actually say that on this document. So we don't show 70B yet, but 70B requires a whole lot of memory. And in most cases, I mean, it's amazing, but it's a whole lot of memory, and it's really slow on even on this M1 Max with 64 gigs. In fact, should we try it? Let's try it. I haven't tried it in a while. I haven't tried it since 13, and maybe things are better. So Ollama run Llama 2 70B. Oh, maybe I haven't tried it. Oh, I have. Okay. So it launched. And now if I do high, hurry up and wait. And we'll see how long this takes. Oh, I should have done verbose. I'm going to cancel. Oh, no, I'm going to let it go. Yeah, one of the neat things working at a larger company like Datadog was when we brought home our daughter, Datadog would send out a care package. Basically, it sends out a care package to everyone who has a new child. And that care package had a knit plush doll of Bits, the dog, the Datadog. So it's probably about, a foot high. I mean, not a foot, 6 inches high. And that was super cute. And along with a onesie that has a little picture of a smaller version of the Datadog dog, but it says, "I'm a pup," which was really cute. And I had like a bit rattle and some other things. And so if you work at Datadog, you can get "I'm a pup" for all the, all the different ages of children, all the way up into all the child sizes, toddler sizes, and then finally adult sizes. Okay, so you saw how slow that was. Let's actually do set verbose. And now, what's a good question to ask? That one about Terraform. Let's see how long that takes. It's loaded into memory, so that's probably one of the biggest things for the model is just, okay, so that responded pretty quickly, a lot quicker than I expected. But it's definitely taken some time. This is, so this is an issue that we have right now with Llama 2 70B is that up here at the top here of my window, oh, you are not looking at me. I got to get better at that. I got to get better at switching windows. So here, you can see up here, I've got, I'm using, what are these tools called? It's from iStat Tools. You can see my CPU is pegged, absolutely pegged. All, 10 cores on this M1 Max with 64 gigs. And the memory, oh, that's CPU as well. And then the next two are GPU. So this is all the cores and then overall, and then this is GPU. And I can see that GPU is not really being touched. And so that's one of the problems with 70B. We're not really sure where the problem is, whether it's something that we've done. We don't think it's something we've done, or is it something that's in Llama CPP? Because it just won't seem to engage the GPU. But if I zoom out, we can see it's still working through the answer. Looking at buying a Mac Studio, debating between 32 and 64 gigs of RAM. Would you say 64 gigs is worth it for running LLMs locally, or is it just enough to have 32 gigs and run 13B models? Yeah, I think it's, to get the most you can afford. We just brought in a Mac Studio, so we've got one Mac Studio in the our Palo Alto office that has the 192 gigs, which, I wish I had 192 gigs. So that's great if you can get, especially if you get somebody else to pay for it. But my machine has 64 gigs. Once you do you need 192? Well, I guess you will when there's a 160, a llama 260 billion. Maybe that'll get to be about that size. It's not the number of parameters, it's how big is the file. And so when you get a file that is 160 gigs, and that's a huge file, but when you get up to that level, then you're probably going to need the 192 gigs of memory that is offered by the Maximum Studio. But if you know you're always going to stick with 13B models or 32 gig or 30B models, then maybe 64 or 32 is good enough. But this area, this AI world that we're in right now, it's all so brand new. And what is it going to be like in, a Mac Studio doesn't last for, it's not a purchase that, is just for, a week or two or a month or two. This is something that you're probably not going to want to buy again for another, year, 2 years, 3 years or longer, especially if you're buying it personally. And so, and you can't, can you upgrade memory? I don't think you can, but I don't know. I haven't looked at the Mac Studios myself. And so are the models going to get smaller and faster and better, or are they just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger? I don't know. I mean, we're so new to this stuff and things are moving so fast that maybe you are going to need the 64 gig for anything. I would think that, yeah, you can't manually change the memory yourself. I mean, okay, so let's switch back over to my desktop. We can see that it finally finished. It took about 3.5 minutes for that answer, and it was averaging about 2.6 tokens per second. My understanding is that the memory doesn't really affect the speed of how fast it's processing. That's all up to the GPU. And in this case, with this one model, we're not using the GPU. We're just using CPU. And so, by the way, am I low? No, I'm not low on power. That's determining the speed. And so maybe the M2, was it M2 Ultra that's in the Studio that you can bump up to? Maybe that's going to provide, well, even, I don't know what the speed that Mike in Palo Alto is getting on the Studio for Llama 2 70B. But I don't know. It didn't seem like it was, for other models, it didn't seem like it was many multiples faster. It seemed like he was getting, for a different model, it came out to, like for Llama 2 13B, I think, I get like 60 tokens per second, and he was getting like 144. So it was a little bit more than double, or maybe it was just shy of double. It was right around double the performance of what mine gets. So that's important, but I mean, are you not going to need it? I don't know. I mean, I would think, I hope, as tools get better, especially Ollama, as Ollama gets better and we start adding on training into Ollama to make it really easy, like super easy for anybody to train the model, then, ideally you want the smallest model that answers the kinds of questions you want to answer, that you train further to have more knowledge about your business logic or business stuff. And then you got a really fast model that performs really fast, well-performed model, and is really, really smart for your specific needs. I think that's the way people want to go, but I don't know. I don't know. I always get frustrated at some of the YouTubers that say, "Oh well, this brand new MacBook Pro M1 or M2 came out. There's no reason anyone would ever need 16 gigs, so you should always buy the 8." No, you don't know that. You don't know what the person's going to do in in 6 months or 2 years. And my thought is always, buy the most expensive, not most expensive, but buy the most powerful machine that you can afford. And is your, I mean, if you're in the Mac ecosystem, that means you're buying a Mac. And what's the best that you can afford? And don't skimp. Don't just like bump up to the max memory, but have a 250 gig drive, because that's worthless. So this laptop that's in front of me is a M1 Max. I've had it about a year and a half. M1 Max with 64 gigs of memory and a 4 terabyte drive. And I wouldn't say that it would be hard to decide. I have to spend a little bit less. Do I skimp on the disk drive, or do I skimp on the memory, or do I skimp on the as the maximum processor, the 10 cores? I don't know how to decide that one, because I think all of them are pretty important. Especially, downloading these models. The 70B. That's like 60 gig file, or 50 to 70 gig file. It's huge. And you store some of those, and 256 gigs isn't going to be big enough, but maybe 512 or a terabyte is almost kind of slim to store these, just storing the models, let alone doing anything with them. So that's the long answer to the question. And I don't think I even gave it an answer. Just I don't know. I guess the answer is find somebody else to pay for it for you and make them buy a big machine. Okay, so I think that's all we want to do with Llama 2 70B, because that takes forever. But one of the things I showed in the first version of the stream that I forgot to press go live on was up here in examples. It turns out this is one of the, if you're, I don't know, maybe in Insights I can see this, but we can see what are the different areas of the GitHub repo that are most popular that people go to. And after the front README, the next place that people go to is the examples. And these are some example model files. And one of the things I had originally intended this stream to be about was me building out some new model files, but I didn't get around to it the first time, and I'm not going to get around to it this time either. But let's take a look at some of these model files. So here's this README is not that useful. I should probably update this README. And really what we should be doing is pointing to, in docs, there is a model file document. That's really the one document that we have that describes the 5 different types of things that you will have in a model file. You usually start off with a from, so from Llama 2, from Vicuña, from New Hermes, from, I say it that way because I never know what the right way of saying that is, from, whichever model you want it to be from. And then usually you're going to just have a prompt in there. I don't see the prompt. Oh, system. We call it system, not prompt. So there's a system prompt. So let's actually go back over to the examples. And I think this was probably one of my first ones that I did. So this is the tweet writer, and I'm doing from New Hermes, and then a system prompt. And that's all I have in this model file. System prompt, you're a content marketer, you're going to build out tweets, and that's is great. And every instruction is going to be the topic to build a tweet about. So this was actually the first example I came up with for doing this. And since then, since about 2 or 3 weeks ago, our model file has gotten a little bit more complicated. We can do a lot more things in a model file, but this is a nice simple one to look at because it is just the basics. In fact, actually, the basics is just the model name. So you could just say from New Hermes, although there's not really much value in doing that. you're going to want to give it a new system prompt. And so one of the things that probably the first example we made was Mario. And so here in the model file, the system prompt is just, you are Mario from Super Mario Brothers, acting as an assistant. And so if I go over to, let's do Ollama run Mario. And let's see what my show system. Oh, there is no system prompt. Show template. So this must predate the template settings. Maybe it's my version of Mario. Let's cancel out of this. What directory am I in? Oh, okay. So let's go with Orca Nasty Mario. So cat Orca Nasty Mario. So you're Mario from Super Mario Brothers, but you've been drinking. No offense to anyone who has issues here, but let's go with Ollama run Orca Nasty Mario. Okay. That must not be. Let's try Snoozy Nasty Mario. I've got all sorts of things that don't work on this machine. Snoozy Nasty Mario? Ollama list. I've got Mario. Do I have another Mario? Oh well, let's just use Mario. Ollama run Mario. And now, why is the sky blue? So I don't know what model this is running, and I don't really know what the prompt is. But it's taken a while. Okay, well, that's not the way Mario would say it. Oh, actually, maybe it is. As Mario, I know there are a lot of theories about why the sky appears blue. One theory is because our atmosphere scatters sunlight in all directions, but blue light gets scattered more, so we see the sky blue. But as an Italian plumber, my expertise lies in stomping on mushrooms and defeating Bowser, not explaining the science behind sky color. Okay, I guess that's kind of good. I mean, I guess I'm just not hearing it with that kind of funny-ish version of an Italian accent. So, as Mario, I know there's a lot of theories about why the sky appears blue. Is that better, or is that's probably not Italian? I should just shut up on that one. But yeah, so that's Mario, and so that was our original thought. We created a bunch that were different characters, and but you can also build it as different people with different, or AIs with different expertise levels in different areas. So you are one of the first contributions we got from somebody else was this DevOps engineer. It's really another really simple one, which is you're a senior DevOps engineer acting as assistant. You offer help with cloud technologies like Terraform, AWS, Kubernetes, Python. You answer with code examples when possible. So that's pretty cool. Let's actually copy that over. I'm going to cancel this. DevOps engineer. Paste that in there. And now I can run Ollama create DevOps -f DevOps engineer. Okay, it looks like it's using a model I don't have. Interesting. I thought I had all the models. Oh, I did clean things up because, as I told you, I only have a 4 terabyte drive, and I was running out of space the other day because 4 terabytes is not enough. I don't know. Well, let's let that keep going for a while. And what is the model it's using? It's using Llama 2 13B, so I must not have 13B on my system. But the other thing that's on here is temperature. It's got a parameter of temperature, parameter, and that parameter is temperature equals 1. So there are a bunch of parameters you can add. Over here, I can go to, it's probably in that doc, model file doc. So in here, there's parameter. And so here's all the parameters you can add. and there is a temperature, and the default is increasing the temperature will make the model answer more creatively. And creative, I don't, but that's the word people use, but it's not so much creative, but it changes how likely is the most likely next word going to be chosen. So maybe it's going to be go in a different direction on the words that it chooses, and that kind of is creativity, but maybe I don't know. Then there's top P and top K are the other two common ones to add. So top K is how many values do you put in that list? A higher value will give more diverse answers, while a lower value will be more conservative. And top P works with top K. A higher value will lead to more diverse text, while a lower value will generate more focused and conservative text. Another explanation I saw showed how that actually works. I don't see that here. But so those are the different parameters, and he was using temperature of 1. Now, one thing that's not mentioned in those parameters is the range. And for temperature, a lot of them are floats that are 0 to 1. And it's sometimes not clear whether 1 is included in that, or is it 0 to 1 but not including 1. And I think sometimes the temperature is 0 to 1 but not including 1, but sometimes more than 1. So I think 2.0 actually has worked for me for a number of things, and it gets really creative then. 1 gets kind of creative, like 0.9999 gets really creative, then 1 gets less creative, then 2 goes really creative, and then 3, the AI is taking something that's really strong. But let's go back to my terminal. Oh, this is still downloading. Oh, I'm on Wi-Fi. I don't have a wired connection right here, so it's a little bit slow. It'll be another 10 minutes to download this. So I'm going to cancel that out, and I'm going to go back in here and change this from Llama 2 13B to Llama 2. And try that again. It'll already have that model file, so it's just created it. And now I can run Ollama run DevOps. And what's a good thing to say? How do I have a web server on Kubernetes. How do I expose that to the outside world? Somebody's calling me from a 562 area code. It says potential spam. Sometimes spam is fun to take, but I'm gonna leave it. Okay, so that's pretty cool. As a senior DevOps engineer, I'd be happy to help. Exposing a Kubernetes pod or service to the outside world can be done using a variety of methods. It can either be a service. Service in Kubernetes is logical abstraction over a set of pods. This is actually, that's pretty nice. You can also use node port. Well, you can do a load balancer. Kube apply -f dash. Huh? It's not applying anything. So that's weird. Maybe that's what you get with the other 63 billion parameters. Few examples. Okay, so this would be a place where you don't trust it, you verify it, because I really like this one, the node port and the service. It kind of seems to do a good job here, but then I don't know what it's trying to say over here. And it's got some Python examples. That's pretty interesting. How about Okay, yeah, I have to respond with code samples. Explain particle physics to a junior developer. Ah. Okay. So rather than going with development, it's going with kitchen stuff. As a junior developer, oh, actually, uh, okay. Analyze these images. Okay, cool. The more you explore particle physics, the more amazed you'll become at how fascinating and complex our universe really is. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's using Ilyas, I think was the guy. The contributor's name is Ilyas Ilyas Bakuch, a developer, educator, and cloud solutions architect based in Montreal, in Canada. I feel like I've seen his name before somewhere. Popular guy. Okay, so then some of the other examples I've done, I created this one to generate Midjourney prompts, and really the goal here was sometimes Midjourney, it's not useful just to give it a short description, but to like fluff it out with a lot of extra stuff, and so that's that one. So we're at about an hour after I finally figured out how to press start stream. And I think it's probably a good time to end it now. So I'm going to end. It looks like my wife's coming in to ask me something. Hi. No, it's totally fine. Hi, Jade. So wife came in to let the dog in. But I think I'm going to end it now because it's been 2 hours and 1 hour actually streamed. And, but I'm going to end it. But I'm going to try to do this more often, and I think next time, I'll know that there's an extra button I have to press and I'll start on time. Although, maybe doing it a little bit earlier, a little bit later. 5 a.m. I have two very demanding hours. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what time I should do it. I want to do this more often. So let's say Monday and Thursday at 2 p.m. was pretty good. So when I finally got things working, so let's hope maybe that's the sign that I need to do it at 2 p.m. Pacific time on Monday and Thursday, and we'll go from there. So thank you, the two of you who have stuck with me all this time. I don't know, maybe it's Alberto and Drifter Thrifter that are on with me right now. And thanks so much for helping me along. It's definitely easier when there were people asking a question or giving me some feedback. It's definitely easier than the first time around when it was crickets because I didn't press start stream. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Hopefully you got something out of it. I'll have some more example files pretty soon and share those. And I think that's it. Yeah. Thanks so much for... Oh, I am talking. I'm like pointing at things and no one's looking. Well, thank you for the stream. Thank you, Alberto. Thanks for sticking around. You said I won't be able to stick around for long, though. You stuck around for a long time. I'm impressed. But thank you, Alberto. Thank you, whoever the second person was. I assume it was Drifter Thrifter. And we're going to do this again. Monday at 2. I'm going to set that. I'm going to set it in the schedule now. And it'll be great. And I can go over what I've done since then. It looks like I've got to actually release a video on 0.0.13, which came out during the first version of the stream. Okay, bye. Where's the end stream button? I see it. I just don't want to go. I'm gonna go.